Good morning. Good morning. I want to start by reminding you that I now have a gig in the morning, so we will be doing our morning meditation only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want to talk about control versus strength today. Um, and when I say control, I don't mean self control or discipline, I mean a different kind of control which comes from a lack of strength. Control versus strength, right? Strength is something that you can turn on and off at will, okay? When you need it, when you don't, right? Control is something that you can't turn it off, right? Right? You also, since you can't turn it off, it can do things to you, right? It's the one in control, not you. Um, and then that goes into reactionary living. But the distinction can be incredibly subtle and not obvious when it pertains to you, right? Which one is it? Is it strength or is it control? Right? So in our practice, we cultivate the ability to release control and develop strength. But the ego, I even like to say the ego, but the mind is very, very tricky. The last thing it wants to do is let go of its control. So when we're in there and we're doing our practice, we really, really have to try to maintain an awareness of what's truly going on in our mind, right? Are we holding? Are we able to open and still be present? Right, so we'll get started. Double inhale, double exhale, right? Right, tensing and releasing. All right, let that be the last one. We'll come into some full breaths. And then we'll begin to lengthen them and to count them. We'll count them out to a length of 4, but possibly at this point you are going longer. So just go with me for the count, but then extend it out once I stop counting for you, right? So a big full exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Peaceful hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. On your own count. And smooth, easy transitions. Noticing the presence of emotions like greed or fear. And calming them. You have enough breath. Excuse me. We'll call this our last round. And then we'll come into a natural breath. And we remind ourselves, even as we just begin, that this is not meant to be perfect, right? In fact, if it isn't, it means you're awake, right? So, natural breath, noticing first where the breath comes in through the nose. Right? Being able to maintain that awareness of where the breath comes through the nose, but releasing the control of the breath, allowing it to flow freely. Disconnecting that mind's desire to control the breath. And then inviting the mind to take a seat at the prefrontal lobes, the center of the forehead. Just for a better vantage point where it can sit on its throne and observe without directing. And then layer in your mantra, inhaling to hum. And as your exhale releases, just vibrating through your mind's saw. Notice perhaps that without controlling the breath, it may be erratic. You may even have pauses. This lack of control on the breath, this observational stance, may lull you into like a heaviness. right? Keep your brain bright. Imagine that there is an airiness or a lightness. Right, again, for some of us, that heaviness calls, that releasing of control. It draws, but we want to raise our energy and maybe fall up into that super conscious realm. Right, that is the continued practice today, is releasing control and trying to raise that energy up. Falsely, we believe that releasing control is to move into passive. And that is because we own our control, because we are weak. But if we move into that weakness and develop its strength, then we can move beyond what control was offering. Take a soft inhale and a 3-part exhale. Allow the breath to stay out as long as it wants to. And imagine that you have expanded yourself to become what a true sense of power might feel like. Something beyond petty and controlling. Something that calls in safety. In that power, notice your stamina and patience. In that power, notice your innate stability. Your true power is solid, unflinching, unreactive, because it is eternal. we'll come back. Big breaths. Move around. We do that like we do reps. Get stronger. Sit in our soul's power. Could open soul gyms. I'm pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share that. Thank you. I hope that you have a wonderful Monday, and I see you on Wednesday. Namaste.